Hello YouTube, this is Necrostevo and you're watching my 48th narrated Wi-Fi battle. Hope you all are doing very well. This is a very good match that I have here for you today. It's a mixed tier match that I had against one of my Twitter followers, 9oseph. And I have had such a large stint of bad luck with Wi-Fi battles lately. And then you get battles that are really good like this that just kind of wash all that bad taste out of your mouth. So I hope you all enjoyed. It's going to be double speed because this was a 45 turn battle. So I hope speeding it up helps. So he's going to start off with Crobat. I start off with my Latios. It is mixed. I wasn't sure what Crobat wanted to do, but I do know that my dual screener could take whatever he wanted it to do. He confuses me. That's fine. This is just going. Audino just is supposed to come in and set up the screens. He U-turns out to bring in something that can here he brings out Tentacool to set up toxic spikes, and I hit myself once. Not a big deal. He sets up a layer of toxic spikes after I hit myself, and then I hit myself again, so he gets up both layers of toxic spikes. Doesn't really matter because I have a Nidoking, but I was getting kind of frustrated because I hit myself a third time, and I really just wanted up the light screen. So right there, I think he went for the toxic spikes just to be nice and let me do what I was trying to do for 3 turns in a row. And I get up my light screen, which is nice. And then I can also put up my reflect because I snapped out of my confusion. He comes back out to Crobat, probably to confuse me again, which I'm okay with. I go out to Nidoking to get rid of those toxic spikes before I bring something else in on them and get it toxic poison. And he confused Rays again. So I'm hoping that, 50% chance I'd have better luck, but I don't want a chance that I just switch out expecting the U-turn again, which is exactly what he does. And I have both screens up, so now is a perfect time to set up with my Neo X Death Cloyster and try to sweep through his team, and he hits me with the Thunderbolt. I know I can live that with a light screen up, but it kills me. And what does that mean? That means that he's Specs, and I wish I had known that, otherwise I would have switched out. But here I'm able to bring in my Basilisk, which allows me to go for Coil. I still have both of those screens up, so combined with HP, special attack, and special defense stats, and getting up Coil to increase my defense and the accuracy of Thunder, he's doing a lot of work there. My opponent leech sees me and he barely lives a critical hit flamethrower, which give or take, I guess that flamethrower crit didn't matter in the long run because it didn't knock him out. But if I had knocked him out, then it would have really mattered. But anyways, I go out to Latios expecting either of his two-step type attacks. Plus, I still had up my Reflect. He just leaves in his Torterra to die, and I'm okay with going for the Psy Shock because nothing on his team is immune to the Psychic attack. He goes out into his Jolteon. I know he outspeeds, and I figured he was going to go for Shadow Ball, so I use this time to go back out to Yukari. And this is a good time to set up screens. I expected him to bring out a physical attacker because he's obviously going to switch, and so I set up Reflect. I was expecting him to go for Circle Throw right off the bat, so I stayed in and set up a Wish, so that whatever he Circle Threw me out to could receive the Wish. But seeing that he's trying to set up Bulk Ups, I figure I could go into my Electros and do something to him, but he Circle Throws on that turn, and so that Wish was pointless. And then I tried again, thinking that he's going to bulk up again, and he does it again. So good thing I had that Reflect, because otherwise that would have been even more annoying, and it's also a good thing that I absorbed those Toxic Spikes. Here he Circle Throws me out into my Choice Scar Primate, and he didn't really know what I wanted to do, I'd imagine, so I just took the time and went for a U-turn, so if he stayed in, I could go to something to resist the Circle's Throw. But he goes out into his Crobat, using this opportunity to set up screens again. Hopefully I don't hit myself like I did before, but of course I do. So Audino, maybe just she was having a bad day. I don't really know what Audino was doing there. He goes for Sludge Bomb, gets the poison on me, which is very unfortunate. That's going to come into play later because after me getting those toxic spikes out of there, I still ended up getting poison. So here I go out into Electros again, hoping to take it. I have almost max special defense, and I have max HP, but of course he gets a crit, so it didn't matter. And so here I go out into my Nidoking, hoping that he'll either overpredict and go out to something, and I went for the Ice Beam right there, but I hit myself, so his Crobat lives to see another day. He U-turns out again, and at this point I was like, I don't care, I just want to break through the confusion and hit something, and I couldn't go for Thunderbolt because he could bring in Jolteon on that. And so I went for Ice Beam. I get a crit, didn't really matter because it hit Tentacruel. So I had the Thunderbolt on this Nidoking, but I didn't want to risk hitting myself again. And he has an offensive Tentacruel, as you see there, that he goes for the Ice Beam. Using this opportunity, I can once again set up some screens, hopefully, or a Wish, whichever one is better. I do set up light screen because I was actually expecting Jolteon to come back in. But he goes out into throw. He over predicts and expects my Latios to come in on maybe the expected bulk up, and I just use this opportunity to set up some the reflect so that when he does circle throw once again, it doesn't do that much damage. Fortunately, with the reflect up, and I don't die from the toxic damage, I get my regenerator up on being forced out. I'm able to just go into Nemesis and go for Sludge Bomb, which I carry Sludge Bomb on Nemesis because most people expect Earth Power. And that has worked out very well for me, because generally I can just go for Flamethrower on Steel types. But fortunately, that Circle Throw tosses me out to Nemesis, and it got the Wish from my Audino. And he brings in Tentacruel, and here is where I reveal that I have Thunderbolt, because earlier he saw Ice Beam, and I was being very particular with where I use that so that he didn't switch Jolteon into it. And here I think is where he figures out that I don't have Earth Power, because I go for Sludge Bomb again, but that was actually just me over-predicting, otherwise I would have just swapped out. Fortunately, that Reflect that I put up earlier with Audino allows me to live that Earthquake very well, and that's a Life Orb from Cargo, which means it probably has Shell Smash. And here I predict him to swap out into Crobat, because I knew he wouldn't switch out into Jolteon in case I went for Sludge Bomb again. And so him swapping out into Crobat was great. I expected him to go for the U-turn again, expecting me to swap out, not wanting to get confused. I know Jolteon's probably coming in, so I went for the Sludge Bomb on the Crobat, and as he switches into Jolteon, that hurts it very badly as well. So that worked out really nicely. Several things are in the range for Choice Scarf Primate to just kind of come in and kill several things in a row. So I just stayed in there hoping that maybe he'd overpredict, but he just goes for Hidden Power Ice. I do bring in Choice Scarf Primate right here to do a little bit of cleanup. I figure close combat will be able to kill Crobat and Jolteon, but I find out how bulky his Crobat is. I get minimum damage on that hit, and it also quad resisted, and he lives it. But he also overpredicts and goes for another Confuse Ray, because with the defense drop, he probably could have done some very serious damage with Air Slash. But here I am going to swap out. He goes for Air Slash, it hits my Yukari, and this is where that poison damage comes in, because after the poison damage, I'm not going to be able to live any other move that he wants to go for. And Sludge Bomb finishes off my Audino. Unfortunato. That's okay though, because I do have Choice Scarf Primate, which means I outspeed. So he has this Crobat, which just died. He has his Macargo, which is at about half HP, and he has Throw. And I still have my Choice Specs Latios left. And so I just stay in and go for Ice Punch, expecting him to Circle Throw. And I get a Freeze, which in my opinion is awesome because of all the hacks that he got on me earlier in the game. And that Freeze kind of sort of mattered. I guess if he was going to start setting up bulk ups, that mattered more. He makes kind of an odd play here and swaps out to Macargo. I'm not really sure why he did that now. He probably should have done that last turn, because switching in Macargo on the Ice Punch would have been a lot better than leaving in Throw on it. But anyways, that's going to be a nice solid 2-hit KO on the Throw. He does wake up, and he goes for a payback, and he crits me, which is nuts, because based on the damage that that payback was doing earlier, even if it's boosted, that probably would not have been enough to kill my Latio. So the fact that he got a crit was like a super boosted payback, so he really wanted payback. Fortunately though, Choice Scarf Primate is able to come in and clean it up. So 9oseph, thank you for the battle. You guys should follow me on Twitter at Pokedex Swing if you all would like to chat on me with there sometime. Otherwise, have a great day.